Have you ever said something like this? I wish I knew then what I know now. I tell myself that all the time. In fact, one of the reasons I have this YouTube channel, the reason I make these videos, is I'm helping people to learn what I learned after the fact, all too late in life. As you know, I'm nearly 70 years old. I've learned a thing or two, and I'm sharing with you some of the things that I have learned. And today we're going to talk about the ways that narcissists control other people. They don't even know it. Now, you know, I like to use the illustration of a puppet, that the narcissist attaches strings to people he controls. You've heard me say that before. But what is challenging sometimes is we know the narcissist has strings attached to us, and we know there was once a time when they didn't have strings attached to us. There was a time when we didn't even know the narcissist. So how did that happen? I mean, I don't remember the narcissist attaching strings to me. Well, yeah, in hindsight now I kind of do, but at the time I didn't see it. Well, here we are making the video. Here's how to see it. So how is it that narcissists control others? Well, to get a grasp on their methodology, we need to understand where these people are coming from. And where they're coming from is not a good place. They view life as just one competition, and you are their competitor. Always, every single time. Almost every single time. That's the way everyone is viewed, a competitor. They view themselves then as one who needs to outcompete the other, and if possible, by controlling the other person by whatever means possible. But life is a competition. And I think most everyone views life in that way to some degree, but a narcissist, they're extremists. It's just overdone. It's to the point where they can't control their own lives because they are so obsessed with controlling other people. And if they do manage to control their own lives, that just makes it worse. Think of Bernie Madoff. He was in control of his life. I wish he wasn't. Or at least the people he ripped off wish he wasn't. Let's take a look at these things. Number one is this. The first string is that the narcissist loves to control by fear. Now, when we talk about fear, we're not necessarily talking about brute force, bulldog in your face, that type of fear, but the type of fear that produces trauma bonding, the type of fear that you're afraid not to have this person as a friend, not to have this person as a love interest. You're afraid of living life without him or her. You're afraid that if you abandon or abuse not abuse, but abandon or offend the narcissist, that will not bode well for you, because the narcissist will then maybe slander you, or maybe you have a financial commitment that is tied to the narcissist and you could lose out financially. So the narcissist has these fear strings that he likes to tie to his puppet, you. And you get out of line, all he does is he pulls the string, the fear string. Have you ever seen a puppet where the puppet master wasn't around? Puppet doesn't do anything, just sits there. Or lays there, just in a heap. That's the way the narcissist wants you to be. You do not move on your own. I'm in extreme narcissism, covert narcissism. The only time you are allowed to move is with his or her permission, and still, even that's not of your own volition. That's because he or she pulled your string. You must do that. There are people out there, thought just popped in my head, there are people out there who are diet narcissists. I actually read an article on that once, that they do their, quote, research, unquote, which means they watch videos on YouTube about nutrition, and they decide they know how to do it. And then they try to impose that on everyone else, because you're eating bread, what's wrong with you? Don't you know that's got, what do they call it, glucose or whatever? Yeah, you can't eat that, ever, never, there aren't too many people that extreme, but they're out there, believe me, I know one of them. And all you can do, at least all I can do, is stay away from them, but the point is they are controlling by fear. If you eat that little bit of whatever, you're going to die before your time. I mean, it's going to take years off your lifespan, and then you're going to be a cripple. The people actually believe silly stuff like that. yeah, I'm an advocate of good nutrition, but I'm saying that a narcissist may use nutrition to control other people because he or she determines what is the best, even though there are a lot of people who disagree with them. I don't know if you've studied nutrition at all, but you find there are different schools of thought. What some people think are bad, other people think are good. All right, enough of that. The point is, narcissists tie a string to you that is called the fear string. Number two, the narcissist will control you by what I call misdirection. I was trying to think what to call this, but there are unspoken promises or unspoken expectations. For example, if you're a young person or an older person, you may be dating somebody, and it may be going very well. And the expectation is never spoken, but the expectation is, yeah, we're going to spend the rest of our lives together. And you're getting signals. We're going to get married. You know, this is my partner for the rest of my life. They never said it. Now, if you're dating a narcissist, chances are that narcissist doesn't care about you at all, period. It's all fake. It's all pretend. It's all pretense. So they are misdirecting you, or they are controlling you through misdirection, leading you on, so to speak. Without saying a word, they just give you the impression. Workplace, the boss may give you the impression that you're in line for a promotion or a raise. He or she may even say something to the effect, you know, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to be the manager of this office. Didn't promise you anything, but you know, he or she may be telling everybody that when they're alone. That is misdirection. Not saying it outright, but just, you know, dropping those nonverbal hints, sometimes verbal hints, that cause us to believe things. That is a strong string, because we expect people to behave in a certain way. And if you've ever been in a religious environment, you expect religious people to behave a certain way. That is, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. I absolutely positively guarantee you, because I have years and years and years and years of experience doing just that. Expecting people to live up to their expectations. So let's make a phrase here. Never expect a person to live up to their expectations. Why? Because we're human, all of us. I don't even expect myself to live up to my expectations, because I just happen to know that I'm human, that I'm flawed, that I've got these little glitches in my personality, and sometimes I just don't do it right. Number three is they control us through imprisonment or isolation. Yeah, I know you've never been in a prison, I hope. But sometimes what they will do is they will imprison us socially. That is to say, there may not be a physical boundary, maybe there is. You know, narcissistic parents raising kids, sometimes they won't let them go out of the house, and the house becomes a prison. There are some severe cases and some that are not so severe. And, you know, if they're kids, yeah, you need to have the protection of the house and the home. So a parent is responsible keeping you at home at times, but as you get older, the parent may become abusive. You can never go out without the parent. That happens sometimes. I mean, again, there have been extreme cases where children have been locked up for years, never going outside their home. Okay, that is kind of an extreme example, but what we're talking about here is not being locked up in a structure, but imprisoning you through social isolation. So the narcissist may want to go places without you, especially because he does not want you to build relationships with people that he has built relationships with, because, well, what happens is that puts you on a par with a narcissist. That means that you are as good as him. You've got as many as friends as he does or she does, and they like you just as they like him or her. So that is intolerable, because the narcissist must see himself or herself as superior. So they try to socially isolate you. You know, you just stay home and I'll be back, you know, and we're going to stay this long and then we're out of there. They do these things. That is an imprisonment. And the smaller your social circle becomes, the stronger the string that pulls you becomes. So if you are being abused by a narcissist, you might want to stop and consider, How's my social circle? Does this woman have me in a prison? I wasn't even aware of it. A social prison where I can't communicate with other people at all. That, by the way, is one of the reasons for the smear campaign. Everyone turns against you. Ideally, if the narcissist gets away with it. Number 4 is what I call monkey stalking. Yeah, I just made that up when I was doing my notes. You know what a flying monkey is? Actually, they're called winged monkeys, but pop psychology, they call them flying monkeys. A flying monkey could be one of anything, but a better term for that is a narcissist agent, or someone who is doing the narcissist work for him or her. And one of the things they do to pull your strings is they will use these flying monkeys, these narcissists by proxy, to eavesdrop on you. Now, I wondered when I was putting my notes together, where did that term eavesdrop even come from? What a strange word. I mean, you're talking about somebody who is trying to pick up your conversation without you knowing it. Well, I guess it turns out that there were eaves on houses and buildings, and sometimes the water would run off the eaves when it rained, and that would be called eavesdropping. And sometimes people would stand outside the building, the house, where the eavesdropping took place, where the rain came off the eaves, and they would listen from that vantage point. So that became known as eavesdropping. But it's not always outside. What I've found in my life, and again, this is one of those things I wish I'd learned years ago. But I've had people, call me up for lunch. Hey, let's get together. Want to talk over some things? Sure. And then it occurs to me after our conversation that this person was pumping me for information. And it didn't even occur to me while we were talking, but afterward he was trying to find out, what I was thinking about this other person, the narcissist. So probably that individual, maybe not necessarily, maybe he was just curious, but probably that person, and it's happened more than once, was sent by the narcissist to eavesdrop on me, or maybe, eavesdrop one-on-one, probably not, well, spy on me, basically. See what's inside my head. They want to know what I am telling other people. So one of the ways they will control you is through my neologism, monkey stalking, or flying monkey stalking if you prefer. Another way they control people is just through charisma. Now, I want you to think about this. Typically, the narcissist in your life, the covert narcissist in your life, has a lot of friends. In fact, I'm working on a video right now. It could be out tomorrow, but the purpose of the video is to explain why narcissists have so many friends. I mean, these are bad people. Why do they have all these friends? Well, the point is, suffice it to say for now, the point is they are charismatic. They are affable people. For the most part, they're very friendly, and that's all the thing about the love bombing. So why is it that they control you? Why is it that they control others? Because, well, you bought into their personality. You bought into their persona. So stop and think about it. I'm jumping ahead a little bit to the next video, but stop and think about this for a moment. You got this narcissist, and he has this huge number of friends. I've known narcissists who are in the ministry, and they have followers, they have supporters, they have this large body of friends, other people. Narcissists, check out their Facebook profile, not all of them, but there are thousands of friends, whatever the max number Facebook will allow. I know other narcissists, they're not on Facebook because they're afraid people will find out stuff about them. But still, they have a lot of friends. I had one guy, narcissist, everywhere we go. We would, we'd go out to eat, talk once in a while, or maybe we'd go somewhere together. Wherever we go, he knew people. And they would come up to him, hey, how you doing? It was unbelievable, the broad scope of people who liked this guy because, well, he was friendly, he was had a little bit of charisma. They liked him, same reason I did. That's one of those strings they pull on you. So you can't just turn down, reject everybody who is charismatic, who is friendly. Maybe they're friendly because they're friendly. not a narcissist, but just neurotypical people. Sometimes they're just friendly just because they are friendly. So those are some of the strings they use. We need to be aware of these, remember them. Controlled by fear, controlled by misdirection, controlled by imprisonment, put that in quotes, monkey stalking, and charisma and affability, or affability. See those two rectangles on the screen? If you want to keep talking, all you got to do is click one of those two rectangles and the conversation will continue. If not, see you all next time.